Hello, hello, and welcome to another video. This one's gonna be pretty short and sweet because, man, I wasn't really feeling all that great today, so I wasn't able to get as many good clips as I could. Not enough content worthy of a long video like I usually do, with plenty of just getting loots and PvPs. I wasn't really feeling all that great, so I just here's a little bit of the stuff that I was doing, just some like one corrupted dungeon and one like just random fight out in the open world. And yeah, in case you guys haven't heard, the open beta test is open for everybody. So as long as you have an account, you can just hop on, choose the EU server, and hop onto the test. It's now open for everybody, so you don't have to pay to get to have access right now. Obviously, everybody else that paid has already, has a big start ahead of everybody. There's people in like 8.3 probably, but most of them probably in 6.3 or 6.4. Yeah, it happens. It's gonna the exact same thing is gonna happen when the official Europe server launches. I think it starts on the 24th. For the people who bought Crystal and Gold founder packs, they're gonna be able to play like a 5 day head start. So it's gonna be the exact same thing where if you don't have that head start, you're gonna be behind. And that's something I'd wish people would realize in Albion, is that you're depending on how much you know the game and how much time you spend on it, you're always going to be behind. Like, so there's always going to be someone else who's just spending 20 hours or like 48 hours on the first 2 days, getting that 5 day head start, spending like a shit ton of money just to get ahead. And and even if you did the same thing, like you bought like the Crystal Founder Pack just to get ahead, if you have other things that you need to do and you have to like or you can't play as long, you're still going to be at a disadvantage. And not to mention, there's like a bunch of things people do, like just their game knowledge, or maybe they have a group that allows them to do content that gives them much more fame or much more silver than anybody else, or they take control of a tier 8 black zone, and so they're just farming like crazy, and then you're there with whatever you got. And not to mention all the arm tiers out there, just like which in case people don't know, RMT is real money trading. So there's people that'll like spend real money just to get items in game, just to get a little like a head start, a little advantage, and just power spike that advantage to like crazy heights, and be like some of the first people and maxed out spec and some of the best gear, and all for what? It should be just for fun. Same thing with people asking me like, why am I even trying out the beta tests? And obviously it's to try out stuff, because you want to see if the game's changed so much in over the years, that I wanted to see if my like the all that testing I did even before the closed beta test happened. I was doing a bunch of like zero to hero, where I started with absolutely nothing, and I would go out there and gather and see how far I could get with just within just like a few hours. And I was getting pretty far with just a few hours. And there's also like different things you could focus on, where you could just go pure PvE, just go for grinding out mobs, getting that fame as fast as possible, and also getting silver, because especially out in the open world, the mobs drop so much silver that it's kind of crazy. But obviously, I think the best way to make silver, especially at the beginning of a server, is definitely the black market, because all the prices are extremely high. And everybody, like especially here on the closed to beta test, like people were just rushing stuff. Like I think it was on like the second or third day, there was already people making like tier 6 point whatever spears or what, and just selling it to the black market. And I'm like, hmm. But like I said before, it's like it's nice and all to try it out, but for here, for example, I'm not gonna have that 5 day head start like I had here, just because I don't know why they made it that way, but it's whatever. So my experience is gonna be a lot different, and I think I'm gonna have to like just focus on like PVE, doing some safe stuff, because obviously there's gonna be a bunch of people ahead. And but that's not what's the problem with the game. Like, the thing is, it's very easy to catch up to those people, because they can only go so high and get so much item power, that eventually it just stabilize. Well, they can't go any higher. So if they get their max spec, which is like 720 in the skill tree, and then for each piece of gear they have 720 the spec and all the items in there. Even if they have all that, the only other way they can get like item power is to go 8.4 or 8.3. And then and with the 8.4, obviously they can awaken their weapon, and they can try to roll for some stats and all that. But that's it. Like once they've gotten full spec, they got their 8.4 items. There's nothing else they can do to gain more power, and then it's all just about like their how they play those items versus other builds. Because it's always I feel like it's like rock paper scissors sometimes with these builds. And especially in the corrupted dungeons, like you'll probably you'll fight against someone who's fighting like using a build that completely counters you. Like for example, here I didn't show it, but because I lost it anyways. But I was fighting a baton bow with my one-handed dagger, and he had like the perfect counter to me, which is the like an assassin jacket, and he also had the knight helmet, which gives him basically an invulnerable bubble for a couple seconds, and he can even move around with it. So it's like, and this build is all based about like that one. You activate everything and you just go like ham on somebody. But there was no way to counter an assassin jacket or the other thing with what I have on me. I could probably use like a stalker hood maybe in order to like pop him out of his stealth. But then he still has his little knight helmet, which completely counters me. So I can't do any damage to him if I use my full combo, and it just kind of like ruins everything. And not to mention, if I use Shadow's Edge to get close to him, he just frost shots away, and then it's like it's over for me. So that's what I'm saying. Like they may have like the best gear and all that, but they'll still be able to lose. And then, let's say for example they're using that best gear inside the mist, for example. Then you have the ratting issue, which is basically when, let's say you're fighting somebody and you're like pretty low health, but then someone else comes in and third parties and just like starts fighting you as you're low health, then you have a very like massive disadvantage. And you'll see that happening a lot in the mist. And it even happened to me actually before I did the that first kill here. I was running around the mist with actually death givers, and I was fighting somebody, and then we were both like half health, and there were so many people around that were like, yeah, fuck it. So we split off, and then the people just dismounted next to me and just started chasing me. And then yeah, I kind of fucked up too, because I tried to inspect them, but it was on the bottom of my screen, and I have all my icons on the bottom of my screen, so I tried to click his name without activating a button, but it activated anyways, and it was my mercenary jacket, which has like a fucking long ass cooldown. And because of that, I ended up dying, and I was like, yeah, I kind of wanted to just rage quit and all that, but yeah, fuck it. Also, I don't know if I said it before, but I'm not feeling all that great. Like my mind is pretty hazy, where I feel so like mentally dead right now that sometimes I don't even want to press my buttons to counter people. Like I'm just kind of like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not even gonna react. Kind of mentality. It kind of sucks too, because I was hoping like I was hoping to like get in there and have some fun with all the new people coming in with the open beta test, because I definitely saw a lot of low geared tier 2, tier 3 people running around, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. Everyone's getting in, getting their specs and starting to get their gear. So maybe I shouldn't go too ham on the first day. Let them all get up there at least tier 4, 4.1, and I'll just hop in there with my 4.1 gear, and we'll have fun fighting each other just for content or the memes. And it's also something I wanted to come back to. The reason why I'm playing the closed beta test, it's just for fun. I'm just trying out things to see if I can get ahead, and getting ahead, will give me a little boost at the start of the game. I'll get more silver, and I'll get like a more spec or whatever. I'll be a little bit faster to getting where I want to be, to where I'm at the best I can get. And then it's just having fun, like PvPing mostly. Because I mean, farming gathering is nice and all. It's just chill content to do. You're just going around, like you can even turn your mind off and just go around and gather, depending on where you're at. Because the Black Sun, I wouldn't really do that, but sometimes you could just shut off your brain and just gather and make silver that way. And chill content. But I'm mostly in Albion for the PvP. And mostly solo PvP as well, because I don't think anybody finds it fun to go out into like a black zone or anywhere where you're just getting zerged on by a whole group of people where you have no chance. So yeah, that's why I prefer, like, I'm happy Albion has a bunch of solo content for us, the Mist, the Corrupted Dungeons, yada yada. So yeah, that's all I want to really toss out there. I wasn't expecting this video to be that long, but since I went ahead and started talking about all the stuff that was going on, it might be a little bit longer than I was expecting. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Hopefully you agree with most of my thoughts, and hopefully you guys try out the open beta test anyways, because it's all for shits and giggles until the actual server comes up. Then we can have fun try harding, be some sweaties. But until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Living in a crowded dream, searching for